What is up, guys? Welcome. Let's try that again. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on Above Average. If you're new to the channel, as always, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. The last video I did pretty good. It got us over like 50 subs, so let's go, guys. I appreciate that. That means a lot. There's a lot of comments, a lot of interaction between me and the subs, so that was sweet. So if we can keep that going, guys, that's awesome. Our year-end goal is 10,000 subs, and yeah, we're well on our way. Also, a lot of you have been asking about if I'm on social media. Yes, I do have Instagram. I'll plug that down below as well. You can follow me at party_boy, BOI. So yeah, not bad. But in today's episode, we're talking about these three things. Okay. We're going to be talking about more love for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, who is just absolutely crushing it this year. I actually just did a video on Nuge, but I mean, there's so many good things to talk about for this guy and for this player, so I'm obviously going to continue talking about him because he hasn't slowed down, so might as well talk about the buddy. Also with that, what to expect when Evander Kane does come back this week, which is also so sweet to see and so sweet to say. Can't believe I remember the night that he got injured. It was pretty scary, and obviously a lot of you probably remember that, but it's crazy. Just like that, he's back and he's ready to go, and potentially, yeah, he could be there for Seattle, which is tomorrow, back in Edmonton. The last game we played against Seattle here at home, we lost, I know, because I was there and it sucked, but yeah, so obviously that, and then just later to finish off this video, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the projected Oilers lineup and for what they had at least rolling in the practice today. So let's hop right into this video and start things off. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, what an unbelievable player this guy is. He is just absolutely just destroying it this year, and obviously us Oilers fans could not be more happy. I was just reading a comment earlier this morning, people saying he's like easily one of, or not easily, but he is one of the most underrated players in the NHL. I mean, that could not be more true, especially you look at the guys who he's kind of tailing, Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid. And I kind of talked about that in my last video I did, but it's so true, man. There's, it's tough to play when you got two big stars in the league, and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's kind of a star himself. He was an all-star. I think it was like 2011 or 2012 he was in the all-star game. He deservedly so, man. He's the first overall pick. Never before has Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had more than 69 points in a season. Nice. And he's currently on pace for 98 points this year, which is just pretty well a 30-point increase. Man, and who to thunk it? And the really cool thing I like to say is the majority of the year he's kind of been just riding shotgun with Clean Costin and Matthias Janmark. Every now and then he'll be brought up, but it hasn't been that often, and he is getting a little bit of those points, quite a bit actually on the power play, but whatever, that's it's still what he's been able to do. Even strength has been awesome. His defensive game, his all-round game has just looked so well this year. A few years ago, and I talked about this before, Todd McLellan, really it was when Nuge kind of took a step back and he was focusing more on his defensive game, and I remember Todd McLellan saying, like, Nuge, like, you're a first overall pick, you can score as well, like, don't be afraid to score. And it's kind of never been at this pace, and never has been at this pace, and you've seen glimpses of it before. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins with his scoring, sometimes he's just he's really streaky, and I remember when Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Leon Draisaitl, and Kyler Yamamoto formed a line. That was, I forget what year, I think that was 18-19. That line was unbelievable. If you guys are, any of you watch the Edmonton Journal, David Staples and Bruce McCurdy, they referred to that line as the dynamite line, because it was explosive every single game. That was the line that we were relying on, for the last little bit of that season. And I guess it was 19-20, I think is when it was that year. So I remember he was able to, for the second half of that season, he was like top 5 in scoring. So we've seen glimpses of his high offense before, but it's just never been sustainable. But this year, I mean, it's been sustainable, like until now, like he's just absolutely crushing it. And like I said, he's took the charge, and as soon as Evander Kane, this is also, I'm kind of taking this from the comment section below, but someone commented this in one of the last videos I did, saying that as soon as Evander Kane went down, Nugent-Hopkins really took it amongst himself to provide offense and be that guy. And I think just Connor and Leon just talking to him, giving him that confidence that maybe he needs, because I'm sure they're like, Nuge, like, what are you doing? Like, you're a first overall pick as well. Like, don't be afraid to put the puck in the net or give it to us all the time. It's just, I think, 15 or 16 points away from tying his career high, which is crazy. And fun fact, right now there's currently only one Canadian hockey player with more points than Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, that player being, drumroll, you guessed it, Connor McDavid, his teammate. So pretty cool and very surprising. If you were telling me that at the beginning of the year, I would have been like, no, probably, I don't believe that, but here we are, man. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's the second leading scorer right now for Canadian hockey players. So you love to see it. He's playing for the Orange and Blue. Let's go. But yeah, I mean, if you're a Nugent-Hopkins fan, obviously pretty well every Oilers fan is, feel free to leave a like it up for Nuge. That would be awesome. But enough with that. Enough with good old Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Let's next on tap. What do we got next? What to expect when Evander Kane does come back this week. And as per Jason Greger, to activate Kane, the Oilers need to waive one of Jesse Puljujarvi or Foegele plus Shore and send Nemo or Desharnais down, which they just sent Nemo down, or put Yamamoto on LTIR. Or you can opt for a 20-man roster and send Shore, 2 defensemen down, and Holloway as well down. So kind of tricky. Obviously, that's not the most ideal situation. Yeah, you wanna when you're bringing back a star player into your lineup and you have to send so many people down or make so many lineups, like, albeit people are forgetting Matthias Janmark and Klim Kostin, they actually didn't start the season with the Oilers. It was when Evander Kane got sent down, those two got brought up because we couldn't actually afford to have them on our team. So obviously they're seeing the success that those two players are bringing. They don't want to send them down again. So one of these players is going to have to bite the bullet. Is that the saying? Bite the dust? I don't know. But yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what happens. Personally, if it was me, I'd probably send full. That's why I'm not making these decisions, because I'd be sitting there all day. Because yeah, obviously I'd have no problem sending Devon Shore down or Nemo. Obviously that's to be expected. Yamamoto, just putting him on LTIR because apparently Buddy has been injured. He's like a twig these days. He's getting injured so much. No offense, Yamo, I love you. But yeah, it's just sending down either one of Jesse or Foegele, because I'd rather do that than opt to have a 20-man roster personally. If we do that way, I'd rather, I'm saying rather a lot, but I'd rather send Dylan Holloway down than Jesse or Foegele, just because they could be swept up off waivers. So it's going to be an interesting 48 hours or 24 hours for that matter to see what's going down. But man, I'm certainly happy I do not have to make that decision, because like I said, I am terrible at decision making, but I'd love to hear your thoughts as always in the comment section below. To finish off this video, just a quick one for you guys today. And just to finish this video, I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the current forward roster, or the forward lineup that they had in practice this morning. And yeah, I guess we'll just start with that. They had on the first line Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman. And then on the second line we got Klim Kostin. Thanks for everyone saying it's Klim, not Klim. I appreciate that. In the last video I did, we got Klim Kostin, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Matthias Janmark. Third line, Evander Kane, Ryan McLeod, Warren Foegele. Fourth line, Dylan Holloway, Derek Ryan, and Jesse Puljujarvi. So my thoughts, obviously, initially, I don't mind this. I think it's actually the third line. I really, really like that. Like, I don't know if that's going to stay long at all, but, just kind of training wheels are just getting him into the groove of things again, Evander Kane, that is. But honestly, this might be the spark that Foegele and McLeod need, like, really to get going. And they've been playing, if it's not Kane there, it was Jesse Puljujarvi there, who doesn't really bring a lot of individual success to a line, I'd say. Or it was Dylan Holloway, who I think could potentially do that down the road, but he's just a little younger and needs a little bit more time and experience. So Evander Kane, honestly, I think he might be the driver of that line, and that really could work. But I mean, ultimately, you kind of want to see, like, it's are you going for depth, or are you going for, like stacking the lines? Because they've already stacked Connor and Leon, so that's kind of interesting. But personally, I don't know if this is going to last. I'd rather see Evander Kane on the top line with McDavid and Hyman, and then, maybe if there's a way to have Draisaitl and Nuge and Yamo. But then again, it's like you don't really want to separate the Nugent-Hopkins line, because that line's been doing really good. So It's interesting. I love obviously that second line. The second line has been good, but remember they were playing third line before, and now they're on the second line. I don't know how that line would stack up to other teams' second lines. You know what I mean? So that's interesting. That's how I'm looking at that. But obviously McDavid, Draisaitl, and Hyman, that's going to be a great line if that's how they choose to go. They've obviously played that line a little bit this year, and it was doing good, but then it kind of went still for a little bit. So if that's the route they plan on taking, then albeit. But I mean, it sure is nice. I can tell you that it sure is nice to see Evander Kane, baby, back in the lineup, and just the offense, the opportunities, the power play. You know, he's going to bring a lot more to the table. Time for certain players is going to go down, and you know, he does it all, right? He's kind of like Klim Kostin, but a little bit more offensive touch, a little bit more experience, a little bit more physicality, maybe. But man, I am pumped to have him back. And when could we see Evander Kane, you ask? Well, we could see him maybe potentially tomorrow with the Seattle Kraken here in Edmonton. And yeah, that would be sweet to see Evander Kane make his debut back since injury against the Seattle Kraken. Let's see if we can slay the Kraken, baby. And yeah, that would be awesome. So pretty well all I got for you guys in this video. I hope you enjoyed. As always, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to follow me on Insta, there it is, or there it is. I don't know, I'll figure out where I want to put it. But yeah, and as always, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. I interact with as much as you as I can, and it's cool for the channel. It's cool for me because I think it's a lot of fun, honestly. I love hearing what you guys have to say. And leave a like. It helps out the videos so much. So appreciate it, guys. I will see you in the next one. Take her easy, and peace.